Hey, welcome to another video from the Outdoor Analyst. I've got a incredible one for you. This is going to be a first impressions on a knife that has, well, it's really pretty much changed the game for me. It's brought me up to a new level of what a flipping knife can be. And this is going to be just a quick impressions. It's got a lot more work to go on. This is a small to medium-sized knife. I call that small to medium, and I'll put some comparisons up here so you kind of know what I'm talking about. But this is the Holt Haptic, and it is no longer in production right now, but I'm pretty sure this is the smoothest knife possibly ever made without going up to 2K plus. So for me, I got this for a great price, pretty much half of what they're going for now. Really happy about that. Great transition. And this thing is really next level. This is a user. This is not brand new. It's been used before and carried a decent amount. And it is still gorgeous. I put a little bit of strapping, put a little bit of an edge touch up on it. And it is hair shaven sharp. It is M390, and this thing is the smoothest flipper pretty much possible. That's butter. I can't even express how smooth this action really is. It's really fantastic. Whew, man, and it's not perfectly fall shut, which is good. It's a controlled fall shut. It's not a guillotine. If you want it to be a guillotine, it can be, but you have to really kind of like, let gravity do that purposefully. Otherwise, it's pretty purposeful. And I really, really like that. The smoothness of this is insane. So it's pretty much next level how they do things. And I'm not going to go super in depth. There's a lot of channels that do that. I just kind of want to give you some size comparisons, because if you do end up with this one, it's actually a lot smaller than I thought it would be. This is going to be the TRM Neutron 2. And we are talking about a knife that is fairly similar. It's a little shorter in the blade and a hair bit shorter in the handle. But you're talking about a knife around that size, just a little bit thicker, quite a bit thicker. So TRM Neutron 2, awesome knife. What's everybody really used to? The Benchmade bug out. Everybody knows this. It is almost identical in size to a bug out. Now, weight, definitely a little bit more. Blade length, about the same. Handle length, almost identical. And you're going to have a little difference in width. It's definitely thicker and heavier than the bug out by almost 2 ounces. But that's really what you're talking about. You're talking about a knife the size of the bug out. And I've heard a lot of people say ergonomically it's a little strange. What they mean when they say that is it's meant to be used in this grip. This is where it's comfortable. I have, large XL size hands. This is comfortable right there, and it's comfortable right here. It is not huge in a hammer grip. It almost is too small for a hammer grip this size. So that's why it's a small to medium sized knife. For me, this is almost about as small as I like to go, because I like to have an actual hammer grip when I'm going through cardboard and whatnot. And oh my goodness, this hollow grind sheep's foot blade is incredible. It's pretty thick. It is fairly thick. Oof, I just love that action. It is butter smooth. Now, how smooth is it compared to like a Herman? The action on it is not as snappy as my Herman Sting here, but it is somehow still smoother. The lock bar has a smoother engagement. And we're talking about a Herman knife here, a custom Herman. It is somehow smoother than the Herman. Not by much. The flipper tab is a little more comfortable. It's not as snappy, but it's more comfortable. It snaps out the same way pretty much every time. Man, the Herman is a little less smooth. It's more of a controlled drop shut. Man, it's just kind of insane. It's kind of insane. Now, the milling on this is what I think really sets this knife apart. It is the most tactile milling. It is very, very comfortable to the feel. There's not a sharp edge on this knife anywhere. That's what you're going for. There's just chamfering everywhere. The milling is pretty much perfection all around. Now the clip definitely has some use on it. and I've been carrying this thing around ever since I got it. I just can't get it out of my pocket. It's just, I've actually been carrying two knives, this one in my right pocket and my Herman Sting in my left. It's kind of been crazy. Now the Sting is a little bit larger in the handle, and it feels just like a slightly bigger knife because it is slightly bigger. I think the Herman Sting is actually pretty much just about the perfect everyday carry. This is pretty much an incredible EDC. That's just a hair bit on the smaller side. So if you like that small to medium knife, this is where it's at. This is where it's at. And the quality of this flipper and the Herman, honestly, as well, gives me the same feel that I get from a Rockstead knife. You pick your Rockstead. This pretty much to me is my favorite just because it's almost like an integral, but it's not. And it's, man, I've been feather sticking with this knife. And can you tell it? Nope. Can't tell anything on the edge. It's just so great. This is such a good like feather sticking folding knife, which doesn't make sense. But why am I bringing this out? Because this is kind of the next quality of class and smooth that almost makes no sense. You don't even want to flick it out. You want to slow roll this thing because it's so perfect. That's kind of the exact same feel. If you had a Rockstead, imagine a Rockstead did a flipper. That's what you're getting with that same broken in perfection feel. So this is the Rockstead Shin. Size comparison. Yeah, blade-wise, it's almost the same, but the handle's way bigger on the Shin. Way bigger, and it's a much heavier knife by, I think, a couple ounces. So that's just a quick overview. Just want you to know how smooth this knife is. I'll do probably something in-depth after a few months of really just kind of carrying this thing around quite a bit. Here's another comparison. Benchmade, what is this? This is the Mini Adamas, goodness gracious. It's actually pretty close to a Mini Adamas in a lot of ways. Size-wise, very similar. Handle size, same length, pretty much all around. Just your thickness. The Adamas is quite a bit thicker. Not so much in blade stock. The blade on this reminds me very much of the Osborne Benchmade. Was it 940, the popular Osborne. Has that awesome kind of swedge in there, and then it gets thicker at the tip. Very, very cool. I just love it. The jumping up here is perfect. Very soft, but still grippy. This knife is meant to be used like this, and it's a great cutter. I've been zipping through stuff, hollow grind. Man, it is the next level. If you can find a Holt or a Holt Blade Works, the Haptic is incredible. I really want the next size up, but they don't make them anymore, and they are super expensive. The only one available that I've seen is over double what I got this for, and yeah, that's a touch much right now. So when it comes to quality, if you can find a Holt knife, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. The smoothness on it, it's as smooth as a Rockstead, and it is, man, just as nice as like a custom Herman, just somehow buttery smoother. It's smoother than the Herman, and that is, man, that is saying something. Wow. Quality. There's a reason why those cost so much on the secondary, and they're almost worth that secondary price. So anyway, just a quick overview. Love this knife. I know it's kind of making some waves these days, and yeah, if you can get your hands on one, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. This thing has not really left my pocket. Man, it is just butter smooth and very, very comfortable. Much more comfortable flipper than the Herman. The Herman is a little more powerful when it comes out, but the flipper tab is a little nicer. And then somehow the smoothness. I mean, you're talking like 2K sheer Gloroff smooth here, not your $700 sheer Gloroff. Wow. Yeah, I love this knife. We'll definitely do a review over that. There's a few Hermans I have now, but if I ever get a chance to get a hold of another Holt knife, Holt Blade Works, yeah, I will. I will definitely be picking one up. Preferably the Spectre. The Spectre's a little bigger. I wish they'd make another run of that. Oh my goodness, it is so good. We're talking Now this is the highest end, I think, of American-made knives, and that's why I'm very happy to have this here. I think that's pretty awesome to just to represent the country, honestly, that can do this quality. Poland, rockin'. Japan, rockin'. It's nice to know America is in that level of goodness and at the top of it. So keep on going, make some more, up production, please. Don't up your prices. Oh my goodness, it's so good. It is just so good. It's kind of at the pinnacle of knife perfection. It really is. Milling is just, man, it's next level. It really is next level. And it's so tactile. It's just such a tactile knife all around. They've done such a good job. This flipper tab reminds me of Hinder, weirdly enough, just kind of how. It's a little smaller, but the same kind of chamfering, same kind of good grip. A little less grippy up here, but just perfect every time. This thing just fires perfectly every single time. Whew, M390 for the win. All right, thanks for hanging out. I will catch you on the next one. And man, I cannot wait for the top folding knives as it kind of gets to the end of the year. I know my list has already changed quite a bit, and it is, it's still, they're still all awesome. But this is kind of next level, And I wanted to get into a smaller medium knife for me. Oh, I needed to kind of get a smaller carry knife because most of my knives that I carry around are just large folders. So this has been great. Anyway, like, subscribe. If you like this content, please do. And catch me on the next one. Peace.